SharkyBreath.
He plays video games.
Hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. I realized something when I was talking to the old, very opinionated man, Rene. His friend Gaston, the kind of kindly accommodating one, yeah, that one there, I never talked to him because I was so distracted by how angry Rene was. Thank you for summing it up, Gaston. And so I was heading my way over there, and then I noticed that I hear something here. So let's find out what I hear first. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. I guess it kind of does, doesn't it? The big crack here? That does look tectonic in a way. Well, good to know. Wait, do I have something to say about this bench? Let me look at this bench. Inspect the bench.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
Okay, fair enough, I suppose.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
The lieutenant looks down the street. Okay.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
I see. Okay, so it's a time passing element. At the moment, I feel like that's not immediately necessary since I'm kind of stressed out about time passing whenever I talk to people. But like that's how it works in this game. I'll just have to get used to it. Look at them go. They're still doing a decent job of playing pétanque with one fewer balls than they need. I wonder how many it's supposed to have. It's fine. Listen. Hello there. Can I talk to you instead?
I have really outdone myself.
Takes a bite out of his sandwich.
This is divine.
Nice. What's in your sandwich?
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
Why are you friends with this man?
Rene, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
I mean, that's fair. Also, you pronounce it tisk tisk. That's a thing. I thought it was always just like a tongue click, but fair enough, Gaston.
Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Tell me, what do you know about the dead man? Looks delicious. Point to the sandwich. Can I have a bite of that? Huh. Seems a little bit presumptuous of me, but I also haven't eaten anything all day, and I've vomited twice, so I suspect that would be helpful. Can I?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food.
He says and quickly adds.
Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
No, that's fine. I just figured I'd ask.
The only one you have.
Okay, thank you for that, Rene.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft.
Seems like it.
In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
That doesn't sound like my kind of sandwich, but I'm sure other people would enjoy that sandwich very much. Please, man, can I just have a bite? Don't be a dick, Gaston. There's plenty for everyone. Okay, I'm not that hungry anyway. Why am I so set on having this? I mean, it probably is a very good sandwich, you know? It probably is a very good sandwich. He's a principle. It's a principle. I don't feel like I should push him on this. Although it'll be more interesting if I do. I don't think I should push him on this.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
He's visibly
You
relieved.
must have other business then?
Rhetoric, legendary 14. Convince Gaston to relinquish his sandwich. Wow. Okay. It's a white check, so I could try it again. But first, let's ask about the dead man.
Let me think.
He looks at the clouds wistfully.
I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
That's pretty much all I know, too. Come on, you must have heard something. Really, you know absolutely nothing? Shame. Maybe you can help me with something else then. Like your sandwich, apparently. Let's push him a little bit further on this, since it's ostensibly my job, right? Really? You know, absolutely nothing?
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist.
He adds, smiling apologetically.
You are both good guys. I can see that.
Can you? How, exactly?
Then help them, you wimp.
Reproach
You
fills
have
his eyes.
plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
Ah. So Rene has outed him as being in contact with the Union.
He means caviar socialists.
Caviar socialists. I've never... Okay, I think I can probably assume what a caviar socialist is, right? It's someone who does lip service to socialism, but also enjoys the, like, rich people lifestyle thingy. That's probably what he means.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
His cheeks turn red.
I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Uh-huh. Continue.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
Something off here. Huh. Sounds a bit like you're holding back. All right, then change the topic. He's not lying, according to my drama brain, and theoretically my drama brain's pretty good at this sort of thing. Let's push this a little bit harder.
I'm not.
He assures you.
I'm not even anyone.
Ooh. Did you accidentally start saying something you didn't mean to?
Of course he's holding back.
Ah.
His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
You just gotta be that way, don't you, Renee? The carabiner crossed his arms. Carabiner. Carabiner is one of those little clips, like the one on the union worker who I robbed earlier. Right, anyway.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René?
His eyes are furious.
I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
And who is this Evrard you know? Are you a union member? Thanks, that's all for now. Sounds like you're a union member. Are you a union member?
Oh,
His cheeks
in
are red
many
again.
ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
Uh-huh, in many ways.
Oh, yes.
So you're not an actual member, though.
Not in the technical sense.
His eyes fix on the bulls
I
and the
don't
raider.
have a vote or a membership card, but Evrard keeps me on the payroll.
Oh, you're actually getting
Just
paid.
for the little things.
Interesting. Continue.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and Renee's eyes.
So I didn't choose my time particularly well. Interesting, though, that if he tries to make it out that he's hot stuff in the Union, and this man would like to kill everyone in the Union, or at least he talks like he would. That's an interesting dynamic you two have, that you come out here and play games together. Do continue.
He doesn't know anything because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
I am sorry to have forced this out of you, Gaston.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that.
He frowns.
He's a Weservein. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate this socialist rabble.
He continues.
Even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
I mean, maybe he's just an abrasive person, right? It seems like he's just an abrasive person, but he also has, his life experience has led him to be this person. I understand that. Also, up until just now, you see how there's this little black point right here at the bottom of his eye? I thought that was his pupil, and he just had these extremely constricted, tiny little, I thought his eyes were terrifying, but no, I think he's just looking off to the right. Anyway, sorry. Brief distraction. Who is this Evrard?
Evrard Claire. Everyone in Martinez knows the Claire brothers.
Except me.
I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
Oh, you were their teacher. Interesting.
What do you know about history?
Carabiner
You
snaps
never
his own.
witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
Renee's got opinions. This is not news.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea.
Where his bull went.
There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Nice job, conceptualization. That seems pretty accurate.
Let's try not to get caught in the crossfire.
The lieutenant lowers his voice. Right, okay. What are the little things you do for Evrard, though? I do feel like I should inquire after this. Although that's probably going to get us involved in the crossfire, isn't it? I'm going to ask.
Writing work mostly.
He smiles.
Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
Interesting. What kind of things do you write for him?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I have these long talks where...
And now Renee's going to bust in.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Are you a caviar socialist? If I ask this question, it'll probably tell me what caviar socialism is. Also, I just noticed that Renee is throwing infinite bools that go to this exact same spot and then merge with each other. So apparently he has control over space-time and really shouldn't complain about me throwing one of his bools into the ocean. This is going to get us in the crossfire, right? This is the question you need to avoid. Here, watch. See? Anyway, I'm asking it.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
Not something you involve yourself in, but you do write literature for the Union. Politics is one of those things where even if you consider yourself to be a non-political person, it's really hard to not be involved in it in any way whatsoever, whether you want to or not. Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces if you're not political? So you are a weather vane, but you need to believe in something. Freedom, the people, Revachol, or even money. That's smart. I keep my nose clean too. Do I? Do I? Where do we want to go with this? I'm not sure that I'm going to get anything particularly useful out of Gaston. So perhaps I should just be enjoying the conversation with him? This is my initial question, but it's going to set Renee off. That's going to set Renee off. That's going to make Gaston offended. This is a lie. Let's just do this.
Officer, I have a vivid imagination.
Oh, me too.
And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics.
Yeah, you're probably right. Continue.
He just fluffs it up.
I mean, apparently, yes, but they pay him for it, so why not? Question mark? I don't know.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
So Renee, his main criticism as Gaston is that he doesn't believe in anything. So this will absolutely set him off. Well, I'm curious, though. Is he just looking for comfort? Because, I mean, I can understand that mindset. Also, it seems like I can only resolve this conversation by saying that I keep my nose clean, too, but I clearly don't.
I believe everyone has the right to sing and do whatever they want.
Ah, sure.
Even if it's nothing at all. I'm very adaptable.
Okay, understandable.
Mon Dieu.
The carabiner closes his eyes like he's never going to open them again. Thanks, that's all for now.
No, thank you.
He nods, smiling wide.
For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
I'm not sure that's true, but should I try and convince him to relinquish his sandwich?
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political.
What is political? I'm already tripping knee deep in politics, baby. I'm not so sure about this. What exactly did you have in mind, Rhetoric?
This right here is political.
This city's going to shit. Sooner or later, some foreigner anarchist is going to steal your sandwich. That's a fact. Your blood sandwich, point to it, is a tool of the oppressors, designed to keep the proletariat docile. These opinions seem awfully fascist and or communist. What if I don't want to say them? Do I have any other options here?
Say one of these fascist or communist things, or fuck off. Whoa, easy there, Goldmouth. He doesn't have to say anything. Re-engage cop mode and bail out, if you like.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Back to police mode, smile and nod. I have some questions, Gaston. Okay, you know what? We're going to leave his sandwich alone, because I haven't, been complaining about being hungry so far, so I think it's going to be okay. I'm not going to get any experience for this, but that's okay.
All right. Let's hear them, officer.
I don't actually have any questions. Bye. Great. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not sure why I was so set on that anyway. All right. Let's go back to the courtyard. Because there's a body that I got business with. Yes, indeed. All right. And I've learned my lesson. Yes, my stats are getting a little bit higher over here. Also, I appreciate how the music fades out when you get close to the corpse. That makes a lot of sense, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Anyway, I've learned my lesson. I need to save. I'm not going to make more use of this function than I need to. But if I enter a situation that may kill me and cause me to redo everything I had to do today, then I'm going to save ahead of time, you know? That's the idea. Okay. All right. So, let me just get these things out. I'll probably want it in my right hand, right? Can I put this in here? And yeah, I'll probably keep my tear. That's great. That's good. Okay. So, can we switch this to the left? Okay. And then the chain cutter's on the right. Okay. Very good. Now then, approach the corpse.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots.
I don't need to listen to this
His
again, do I?
skin is
Yep, the
marbled
preliminary
with
examination is done. Let's get him down from there.
veins.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
I see. Oh, hey, check it out. I got a 70 experience for inspecting the body. Well, that would have been convenient to have earlier. I guess I probably should have just gone through with this. All right. A new angle of approach to the belt is what we need to come up with. All right, continue.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
Yeah, that just seemed to be the way he words things under these circumstances. He tries to be positive, does Officer Kitsuragi. Continue.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Can't someone else do it? We could saw the branch. Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. Maybe we could shoot him down. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor. I'm out of ideas. Let's have another look at him. Sawing off the branch is property damage, but they'd probably allow it in order to get the corpse out of the tree. But also we can't get up to the branch in the first place because the ladder is... Well, let's just say it. Let's just say it.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
I don't think we could probably shoot him down. I don't think that's how it works, but let's just float the idea to see what Kim says.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
The enthusiasm is unrestrained. Okay.
How?
The lieutenant remains unaffected. Good question.
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch, that's a good spot to aim.
There, the buckle holds the There, the buckle holds the belt together. Point to it. I don't know. You just, shoot up there, maybe? Point towards the branch. Just shoot the belt. The bullet will break it. The buckle, though, that's not a bad idea. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Where?
He corrects his glasses.
Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Maybe.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen? Actually, don't. It has bad idea written all over it. Wait, let me try. Say nothing. Let him choose. I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe it's better not to. Back off. I mean, ostensibly, I have decent motorics. Motorics? I need someone... I need to look up how to pronounce that word at some point. I just haven't. It does seem risky, but what other ideas do we have exactly? I mean, I'm already borrowing a lot of his equipment. Having me do it might not be the best idea. I also don't know how good of a shot he is. If I do it, then I'm taking responsibility for the consequences, sort of, maybe. But I also would be using his gun, and he would have had to pass it to me, which he may not be comfortable with, and I wouldn't blame him. What was my idea? See if he'll let me do it.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
Okay, so that's not an option. All right. I'm going to let him choose then. You go ahead, Kim.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel.
Paper cartridge?
Separates the scouring stick and gives the cartridge 5 tucks.
Guns work differently in this universe, huh? Or at least in this time frame. Scouring stick and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. Is he actually are you basically packing it like an old style rifle? Huh. I wonder. Continue.
Securing it in place.
Right. Makes sense.
That's a Kiel A9090 armistice mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world.
All right. And apparently Kim thinks the idea is okay, because here we go.
He then steps back and assumes the phallostess position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Do we be supportive? Do we try and get him riled up, which I suspect he wouldn't appreciate? Say nothing. He seems to try and keep a cool head when he's on this sort of business, so I suspect he's not going to appreciate this, no matter what his preference in radio stations is. Maybe saying anything would distract him? Keep him calm.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
Continue.
a lot of things were wrong with that shot. The phallostess was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Right, I see. Okay, continue.
Fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Fortunately, I think Kim's probably better at taking this kind of heat than me, but we'll see.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
It's okay, man. Goddammit, get your shit together. Try again, maybe. What now? It's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
Sure you do.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again, maybe? Wait a second. He did do this to me, and it did work.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised.
He looks around at the windows overlooking the yard.
Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
Yeah, fair enough, I suppose. All right. Well, then what now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
It is beginning to look that way, yes. Continue.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
Can I have the gun? I should try. Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. That's the only new option here. I mean, like I say, I'm probably better at it than him. I don't know. I might be.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks.
He pauses, then shrugs and proceeds to load the pistolet. Apparently, he's going to let me have a shot at it. Let's see if I can not mess this up. Continue.
Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
Yes, thank you for that. The piece shines in his outstretched hand.
They only have one gun!
I'm a little busy.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Take the gun.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banani poika! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
What on earth does a banani poika? Banani poika. Pardon me. I should pronounce it right if I'm going to repeat the bad words you say. Feel the weight first.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
Have I used this kind of gun before?
You've held this, an A9 Armistice, before.
Thank you. I was wondering.
At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
Okay, well.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
She's so helpful. Point the gun at the belt, please.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Continue.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Say shut up. Challenging 12, pull the trigger. Close your left eye first, point the gun at Kuno S. How about not that? Let's try... If I'm just aiming for a single point, closing one eye can help a lot. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to ignore the kid. I'm going to do my best to ignore the kid.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, slick, with the falling rain. The corpse slowly rotates.
Continue.
The slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directing the gun sink up. dancing hypnotically.
That's exactly what I'm going for. Continue.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
58%. Just ignore the kids. If I say shut up, they're just going to get more obnoxious about it. They're not going to pay attention to my authority one way or another. Plus, I'm still holding the... Well, technically, you can't see it right now, but I still have my my ledger thingy out, so my authority is in the toilet. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Yeah! Beautiful.
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir.
Wow, I succeeded exactly. Exactly. Wow, okay. Cool. Good enough. Continue.
With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you.
He did seem to fall on his knees. It also seems like time has frozen right now, so I suspect he's going to... His muscles have basically liquefied. It's said that in the past. And he just fell out of a tree onto his heavily weighted feet. I'm guessing there's going to be consequences for this. It's probably going to get pretty gross in just a second. Do continue.
Looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you? Turn away. Since we're having a moment here, let's go ahead and pursue it. Who killed you?
Communism.
Really? Continue.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from. Only that it's right.
Uh-huh. Continue.
Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
I'm sure he is. Task complete, getting the body down. Gained experience, level up. Nice. You've been policed. RCM, baby, RCM. How did I do that? Who's laughing now, you little shit? Taunting the children is not productive, but it is satisfying. This, I know how I did it. I analyzed every moment of the process, and then I rolled a 7. You know what? Let's take my victory while I can.
Fuck you, Kurpale!
Despite her words, her tone seems celebratory. Okay, alright, so... How do we want to approach this? I'm overthinking everything. I always overthink everything. I like the idea of saying you've been policed. But I also like being self-analytical. I'm going to do this one.
Ace is high.
The lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap it.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol.
Are you sure you should be thinking about this right now?
In sports, the gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves.
How long are we going to leave him hanging? He's kind of twitching here. Continue?
You could add an ace's low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another.
Slap it, slap him, wait for an ace's low, leave him hanging. I'm going to see if I can do an ace's low. Try and do a partner thing here. Yeah! Bap.
The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there is a moment of doubt. Feels like that low ain't gonna connect.
I mean, I'm basically in the same position he put me in a second ago. It's a trust operation, right? It's a trust exercise. Continue.
Chill. It's gonna connect.
That's right. That's right.
But then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an ace's low hanging.
That's right. Thought gained aces low. Very nice. I'm sorry you had to slap my extremely gross gardening gloves that I've been digging through the garbage in with on, but you know what? I appreciated that moment anyway. He's got gloves on too. It's fine. Continue.
I knew these guys were
His voice is deeply approving. No, we're not. Yeah, we're got a problem with it. What now? Ignore the children under these circumstances. It didn't work out last time. Just carry on.
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
He needs to turn away from the corpse. Is he gonna have his turn to throw up? Continue.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells.
Right.
The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
Agitated the contents, you might say. Do continue.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Wait, field autopsy? I mean, of course, yes, but maybe I should pursue more knowledge since I don't remember anything. All right, give him back his gun. Yes, that definitely has to happen, but first this.
Yes.
He covers his
the 4
nose.
phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm satisfied with that part. The trash container, the prints, we've been thorough enough.
It seems like it.
2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job.
Great. He seems less satisfied with the first part, but not as satisfied as we were with the examination. Okay, fair enough. Continue.
3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene.
Are we qualified to do that? Continue.
The fuck are they on about?
Nothing talking to you, Kuno.
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
Something like that.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that.
Okay, Lieutenant stops.
Ah, this stinks.
Don't we have someone else for the autopsy, like a doctor? I mean, that's what I was wondering, yes.
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain.
Really?
From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup. We do it all.
Honorary rank? Yes, I feel like a detective. I don't think I'm a detective. I am a detective. I think we're pretty clear on that one. Honorary rank?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse.
I only have one option at this point, and that is to say I don't think I'm a detective, but I am.
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise.
Presumably, yes. All right, here's your gun back.
In the meantime, we should try to interview Everard Clare, the leader of the union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging.
He points to the belt.
The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though.
I presume you're right. Do continue.
Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Everard.
Uh-huh. The Wild Pines representative. Strike negotiator. Is Wild Pines the company they're striking against? Logistics company. Presumably, yes? Continue?
You could ask the gardener for directions.
I mean, yeah, we have in the past. We probably will again. Is this the famous list of initial interviews? That one.
Yes.
You nod slowly.
And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
You say that, but we still have to do the autopsy, right? We still have to do the autopsy, right? We're not just skipping that, right? Okay, let's see here. Okay. Where's the rest of the armor? Ask Kuno the kid throwing rocks what he knows about the armor. I see. The victim's tattoos. Ask around the tattoos possibly meaning. Who made the call reporting the crime? Keep searching for the caller despite lacking any obvious leads. This might take some time. You're probably right. The hangman's boots. I'm probably not going to be able to get the hangman's boots. In order to succeed, the body has to be down. Check. The autopsy has to be finished. Not yet. And Kim has to be absent. He wouldn't approve. This will be devilishly tricky, so don't beat yourself up if you manage to send the body to processing without getting hold of the boots. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get them. That's okay. I just want the money. Field autopsy. Hangman is down. Perform a closer inspection of his body. Arriving at cause of death, it will need a form to be filled in 3 parts. Okay. Interview the union boss. Enter the harbor and seek an audience with the local debardeurs union leader, Everard Clare. You need to ask him about the murder in his district. I do. Interview the Wild Pines rep. Find the representative of the logistics company who owns the harbor and ask her about the murder. She should be around here somewhere. Presumably, yes. Okay. What do we have in thoughts? Look at all the thoughts. The Bow Collector White Morning. Aces Low is the new one. The Insulindian Civil War was not the first war to see the use of hybrid airships on both sides, but it was the coolest. For an entire decade, folded multi-rotor fighters got into dogfights above Revachol, Ozon, Semenine, and the Arcade Islands, spitting death at one another. They flew over sandy beaches and shot each other out of the azure sky, crashing into city blocks and setting island forests ablaze. The Aces Low was a custom among revolutionary brigades, performed after multiple kills. Lieutenant Kitsuragi seems fond of it. Why? +2 empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi, as long as I'm researching it. Takes 3 hours to do. Interesting. Okay. So we have a lot of thoughts building up here. I do have 2 skill points I can throw at things. I'm kind of inclined to get started on these thoughts right away. Right away. Okay. Unlock. Takes a skill point. Confirm. All right, so I got a new slot here. Rigorous self-critique takes away my authority, but my authority is already in the toilet. The solution will not be particularly helpful, but it is the only effect I get out of being sorry cop, so maybe I should take advantage of it at some point. Mazovian socioeconomics minus visual calculus looks like reaction. It's a quick research, but it also makes me worse at the one thing I'm really, really good at. Bow collector, hell on earth. 6 hours of hell on earth. It's remembering about the X something. White morning, -1 authority. 5 hours. Pondering myself from the outside. Looking at my tragic current situation from the outside. And distancing myself from it seems like. Ace is low. Ace is low seems like it's going to be useful down the line since I'm trying to do my best to get along with Kim as best I can. Plus, it's an immediate bonus while I'm thinking about it, you know? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. This seems very important. It's only -1 to hand-eye coordination. The main thing I needed to do with that was shoot the guy out of the tree. So I think I can probably go ahead and equip this one. -1 authority. Again, my authority is terrible right now. It's okay. It's only 6 hours of hell on earth. How bad can it be? Eternalize. Okay. Interesting how the thought process goes through like that. I wonder why that is. And we're going to unlock another one. There we go. Next, ace is low. Internalize. Okay. They're both seeming to go through the volumetric shit compressor rather than the... Oh, never mind. It's arbitrary. It's arbitrary. It doesn't matter. Okay, I was thinking too hard about things. Yet again! This never happens. This never happens. What is going on in here? Something must have changed, but I don't see what it is. Obviously, I just spent all my experience, so I can't possibly do anything here. That's going to have to be okay. Check out my terrible authority. Okay. Okay. Let's check my inventory real quick. I don't need the bolt cutters. It turns out I never did. We'll throw this back in my right hand. I'm going to need that immediately. And I'm going to keep the bag out because I'm a hobo. And it's fine. Okay. Make sure I haven't missed anything here. Huh. I can't access that. Okay. To the body, then. Let's do this. Let's get out of here.
The man lies on his side, with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
Yeah, apparently. Continue.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Ah, so the Inland Empire option is still here. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Try to remove the dead man's boots. No, we're not doing that. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? We already know that Kim doesn't want me to remove the boots. It's fine.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
He pulls on a pair of latex gloves. Right, but I don't remember. My life is the problem.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit. And the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Why don't you know? What use are you? I mean, the encyclopedia is not going to be the one you need to go to on this one, I don't think. Clap your gloved hands. Let's get in there. Let's go ahead and probe my own brain first. It's probably going to make me feel bad about myself, but I'm okay.
You must have me confused with the Copperpedia.
Who's the Copperpedia? I think I need to talk to him.
You, sir. You are the Copperpedia.
I am the Copperpedia. Okay, well, in that case, let's get in there.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves.
Clearly, he nods approvingly.
However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
All right. I don't know. What do you mean? I suppose, yes, they're not exactly... They're not the kind of gloves you would normally want to do an autopsy with. Limited capacity. Well, let's get more specific, because again, I don't know anything.
I mean when I need you to. Until then, I should handle physical contact, and you should take notes.
We just fill this in, right? Show me the red field autopsy form in your ledger.
That's right.
Okay. He nods. Open your ledger at the field autopsy form. That one.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
All right, continue.
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Begin. 1. Assistant. Let's jump ahead to the 3-part summary. Let's pause this autopsy. No, we're going to go from the beginning. I'm working with Kim. I'm sure he wants me to go from the beginning. Assistant.
That's you.
That's me. Write the initials. HDB. It's the best I've got right now, although I apparently am Harry. But I'm not... I don't seem willing to admit that I apparently am Harry.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just lies there. The next box says...
2. Coroner's case. No. Number. Coroner's case number. I can read.
KK57-0803.0815.
How did you know that, I wonder? But I'll write it down.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi.
Oh, sure.
57 equals Precinct 57.
Right.
Followed by his date, 0803, and time of arrival, 0815, on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
Because he's the one running the autopsy.
That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
That's also fair. Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you. Technically speaking, yes. I mean, he's offering to take responsibility for this and also trying to avoid personal matters, but shouldn't we technically do that?
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
Continue.
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone?
I'm not sure I know.
10:15. It's understated.
Uh-huh. HDB 410803, 10:15, no time of arrival. I have no idea. This one.
Good. Let's go with that.
Okay, sounds good. 3, name.
NA. Next.
Date of birth.
NA.
Indeed. Age.
Roughly 50.
Okay.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
That's a fair point, and it's something I theoretically am good at, so I'm going to go with about 42, if that works for you, Kim. I don't mean to be undercutting your authority or nothing, but, like, anything that I actually have an edge in, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, it's a coordinative effort, yeah?
He nods.
Great. Race.
Mondial.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Muindi. This is as vague as it gets.
Yeah.
You might as well say whitish.
I mean, that's basically what we're saying. Write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
And that's why we wrote it down. Sex.
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaimed energetically. Why are you... How is this interesting to you? I mean, I know, never mind. Never mind. It's the hanged man you've been throwing rocks at for the past day. He's going to get cut apart in front of you. Of course you're watching. Anyway, continue.
Male.
Yes, that one.
Pigs can have sex.
Why do I have these options? I'm writing male. I'd have to explain this to Kim later. These are... I mean, listen.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Fair enough. Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
Got it.
What else?
He looks over your
9.
shoulder.
Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
Yes, that makes sense. Also, how are you looking over my shoulder from over there, Kim? You must have a very long neck.
HDB 41 0803.1015. Listens, motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
What exactly is treatment anyway? I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprint look like he was carried over? Agreed, no treatment. I'm not so sure. Let's clarify what treatment is.
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprint look like it was carried over? I'm going with that one.
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites.
Oh, okay.
It takes him 2 seconds to perform.
Then?
We should start the post-mortem.
Turn that page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Right. I can't help but notice that we skipped whether I was actually writing in for box 11 on the previous page. Even though I voiced a disagreement, I must have just gone with what Kim said. Okay. External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think.
He turns the body... Sorry, I didn't let you finish. He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label. That's probably an impressive feat. This thing probably weighs kind of a lot.
See, it's happening.
Oh, yeah, enjoy yourself.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
Right.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure she was. Write it down.
The boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Right, and we're putting that in the report, which means now I can't harvest them.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
Oh, drama. When am I going to get them? Omit the boots. Write it down. Listen, here's the thing. I got all excited about the idea of pawning them so I could actually have a place to sleep tonight. But the fact is, it's going to be really difficult to get them and almost impossible to pawn them. Anybody who has anything to do with this is going to know that they were on the corpse because he's been hanging from a tree for a week. Plus, I'm the officer with his name on the case on this particular incident. There's no way. There is no way I'm going to be able to get those boots and get anything for them unless I just wanted to have a pair of boots, which I could keep in my house. If I had a house, which I don't seem to because I can't remember anything. I'm writing them down, okay? I know it's the boring option. I know. I'll probably get a point for boring cop. It's deserved, but I'm writing it down.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
I wonder if... Oh yeah, that's also true. I did report specifically to Kim's department about the boots being there. Also, I suppose if I had made up a fake number, this is when Kim wouldn't realize that I made up a fake number, and that would have been an interesting conversation for sure. Write it down.
Tattoos.
Stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern.
Sort of.
It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white.
But we don't recognize the variety of it.
The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini.
That is true. The light just got darker. Is that because we're focused, or is it because we just passed 5 p.m. and therefore the light changed? Because I hadn't noticed the light shifting in previous episodes, but it absolutely has been. When I loaded it up today, I noticed that, yeah, the light was mid-afternoon rather than morning like it had been. I just didn't even notice it happening. Yeah, I didn't notice it happening in the past. Write it down, please.
The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
And part of it's still in the tree. Write it down.
Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing.
Oh, is it that cold out? I actually hadn't really realized. I guess we were talking about a net being out in the cold. I guess it makes sense if it's that bad. He produces a measuring tape, by the way. Write it down.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. Write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern baldness. Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. This seems like one of those times that I can choose to be a weirdo. But I also, like... Kim asked me not to get involved unless he asked for help. I had no opinion about touching the corpse's hair up until the point that it became an option, and now I suddenly very much want to do it. This shouldn't be necessary to have this much hesitation over whether or not I touch a corpse's hair. Why is it an option? There's got to be a reason. I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Stroke his hair. Stroke his hair gently. Write it down. I've been patting other things. Why not pat the corpse too?
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head.
Continue.
There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Keep petting him. Write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern baldness. Write it down, adding the brilliantine. This way I can at least pretend it was a professional inquiry. Yes, that one.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Was that a burn towards Kuno? Is he going to take it as a burn because he said low velocity?
Fucking low velocity?
Yes, he is.
You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max.
The kid explodes. Continue.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
That's right.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
The lieutenant pays no attention. No, pays no heed. I can read words. Write down, but amend for high velocity. No. No, sorry, Kuno.
Ligature mark.
Oh, there's not actually more stuff to be read here. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. Continue.
The steel wiring.
He concedes, breathless.
There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
Okay, well, I brought your bolt cutter, so you're welcome.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Pet the chain cutters. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull out the rubber gripped cutters. I mean, I've been petting everything else. Pet the chain cutters!
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Thank you for that, hanged man. Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now,
He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck.
we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
Okay, why are you having me do this instead of you? I thought I didn't have the right equipment or something.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
Your pig. Whoever said I was your pig. Continue.
No, he ain't.
See
Your
what's what's it.
pig's a boring fuck.
Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. I'm not your pig, Kuno. Look for a good spot to cut. Physical instrument, medium 11. Cut the belt off. This is a red check. It cannot be retried. If I'm planning on talking to Kuno later, I've been supportive of Kuno's ideas so far, insomuch as that I shouted a slur back at him, agreeing that I was what he said. Perhaps I can be Kuno's pig now and he won't call me the other thing? You know, swap out type of thing.
You are? This pig is Kuno's.
He says with calm certainty. Look for a good spot to cut, please.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
Okay. Great. Continue.
The knot is the weak spot.
Yeah.
The chain cutters fit in there, steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
Interfacing knows what's up, but this is physical instrument we're talking about. Oh, 83%. Interfacing gave instructions. Thank you, Interfacing. 83%. I've lost a similar roll before, but it seems like we're good. Let's do it.
You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then...
Rotate some more. Enough, cut some. Fuckity fuck. I'm no good with my body, man. Fuckity fuck.
The lieutenant looks by, somewhat worried as you summon power words to your aid.
They're already in his flesh. Oh no. Oh no. They're already deep in his flesh. If I rotate, it's just gonna get worse. Cut some.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that faggoty! Corpse fucking time!
Great.
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He steps in and takes the chain cutters from you. Let him work. No, give him back. I was just about to cut it off. Let him work. Let him work.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision.
Probably just as well. Kuno's not going to be impressed, but I don't care.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Nice work, Kim.
Here.
He hands you the chain cutters back and then kneels closer to the body, running his finger along the dark red groove until he comes to a gap.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape.
Which seems to make sense. Continue.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
That sounds about right. Write it down, please.
Chest is intact. Normal contour.
He presses on it.
Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
Well, here it comes. Kuno S, now's your time to shine. He pulls down the man's underpants.
No! Let's get out and see!
Uh-huh.
I fucking knew it!
Uh-huh.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the genitals. Write it down and move on. I'm not going to pet them if that's what you're wondering.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Poor guy. Cool. I don't know what I inspected. Expected, not inspected. I just inspected, but I don't know what I expected. Write it down and move on.
Back is symmetrical and intact.
He struggles to
Upper
turn
and
the corpse
lower
on its side.
extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Oh, okay.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
And this is in addition to the rocks that were thrown?
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
This scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's. Write it down. I'm mentioning it. My brain's helping. He nods.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars.
Write it down.
Last item. Hands.
He takes the man's right hand as his expects it, then moves on to the other hand. Pick up the hand! Let the lieutenant work alone. Pick up that hand!
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids, like it's ready to explode if squeezed hard enough.
Gross.
You're suddenly repulsed. So much so you feel compelled to drop it.
I would advise not dropping it. Continue.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
The lieutenant says as 5 cold sausage-like fingers slipped from your hand. I did drop it. Okay. Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
This is suggesting that he was already dead at the time they hanged him, or freshly dead, maybe. Maybe. If he didn't struggle. Either that or he was a willing participant? Write it down.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. Internal examination. This one ought to be fun. Summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
He says and then concludes abruptly. Okay, what do you mean have something on his central nervous system? Something to report about it? Continue.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add the moral of this story. Nope, right, not applicable. Kim's not going to appreciate it, but it does seem like something I would do, doesn't it? Conceptualization. How does a moral have anything to do with the central nervous system, you know? I don't feel like this is a success, but I did succeed, and that's why I have this option, so I may as well explore it, but I don't get it myself.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
Ah, the brain is very vulnerable to compromises in his blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
The lieutenant grins. He appreciated it. I made a joke and he liked it. I'll write non-applicable.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
I'm not sure what a hyoid bone is. He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench. Ugh, continue.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it.
Ugh.
Gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
This is super gross.
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
I don't feel like that's supposed to be happening, but then again, this man is dead, so things aren't going to be working out the way you normally expect. Continue.
Yeah, jack that fucker off.
Why? Listen, as long as you're having a good time over there, I'm going to continue to ignore you.
The hyoid bone is fractured.
He says after a while.
The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
I don't know what the hyoid bone is, but I'm guessing it has something to do with the neck itself, since that's where he was massaging, and that's also where he was hanged. So, presumably, if something's going to give when you're hanged, that's the one. Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used. Rigor mortis. Hard to overcome.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
Look inside the dead man's mouth. Write it down. Look inside. We're looking. We're looking.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again. Straight in that mouth of his.
In that case, it's probably a bad idea to look deeper inside, isn't it? Write it down. I hope I don't throw up.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat.
Okay.
A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking.
I'm not sure why I did either.
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Okay.
Mute silence as always.
I'm succeeding on a lot of Inland Empire checks, despite the fact that my Inland Empire is terrible. Mute silent as always.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
The lieutenant repeats impatiently. He lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
He wipes his brow. Why? Don't we have anything? I don't know what hepatobiliary is.
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. Oh.
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
Am I an expert in those things?
Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expertise on either one.
I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
Right, not applicable.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both? I mean, it makes sense. These are highly specific fields that neither of us. I mean, we're cops, right? We're defectives. We're detectives. Detectives might not be that far of a stretch in my case, but we're detectives, yes. But we're not medical experts.
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there?
It seems like it's worth checking at least, right?
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Would obscure tidbits and odd trivia fit the fields? The completionist in me wonders if there's still something we could do. I mean, it does. That's why I asked.
Like a toxicology screening?
He looks at the monster.
At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Fair, I could do that. It's funny that you referred to it as the monster when previously you've been referring to her over here as the monster, but okay. Write non-applicable and add toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity.
It's been a week
Blood
after all.
has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Seems to be. Write it down.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there.
This will do.
Hopefully.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen. Briefly, write it down. Omit the voila. Write it down. Keep the voila. I'm keeping the voila. You can't stop me, Kim.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries. Summary. That's the one.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
He tilts his head at the beginning of all that. Do continue.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
That's what I want. What about the injuries we have inflicted? Bite marks, contusions, ligature mark. What's the 4th field injury for? Turn the page back. Let's talk about inflicted injuries by me when I pulled at his boots and his neck began to, give out.
Oh, so we inflicted them?
This is a team effort. Okay, I have inflicted.
Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter.
There's a pause. I wouldn't
mention it. Better not to muddy the waters.
I agree. The waters are muddy enough. But isn't that sloppy? Keep it minimal. So back to injuries. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's fair. Yeah.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
The boy nods approvingly. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Kuno.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now,
I'm just
injuries.
gonna keep moving. Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Okay. Odontologist. I wonder what an odontologist does. Either way, we don't need one. That's right. Write it down.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. A, opinion, fatal injury. B, non-fatal post-mortem. We're talking about the bite mark injuries? By birds. That'll be non-fatal post-mortem, presumably.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
That is true.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
I'm kind of tempted to... I mean... Clearly not. Like, there's tons of evidence. I just would want to be getting a rise out of Kuno. How much do I feel like messing around here?
No, it's not.
Yeah, all right.
Fucking fail as shit, sailman!
Don't call him that.
Bitch saying your injuries weren't fatal, Kuno. You gonna let it stand?
Continue.
I do what I want, see?
He spits.
Learn it.
Uh-huh. Okay, non-fatal post-mortem. I was just messing around.
Right. Next.
Ligature mark. Finish the autopsy. What's the 4th injury field for? Turn the page back. Turn the page back? What do you mean by that? What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Turn the page? Oh, like if I wanted to go back and look at the other fields that we've already done. Got it. Sure. Let's move on to the ligature mark.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact.
Okay, continue.
I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Right. Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
You skipped awaiting your judgment. Why did his head jerk to the side, though? That's what I want to know here. Continue.
Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
So everything makes it look like that's what killed him. Except for that he didn't struggle. He was carried to the tree. He was hanged from the tree. The flesh shows the responses that one would expect from someone hanging to the death. There are no other injuries visible on the exterior of the flesh. But this is important. And I've already expressed to Kim that I suspect that something else has happened here, although at the moment I have no evidence whatsoever that something else has happened here. No evidence. I was willing to float the idea that the rocks were fatal just to buff up Kuno's ego. I'm willing to float this idea right now. The lieutenant falls silent abruptly.
Why do you say that?
He tilts his
Is
head.
it like that fatal stone injury, or are you serious?
I just took a whack in the dark. I'm serious. I don't think this was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
I arrived at this conclusion through the psychic arts. Why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this. I would tie his hands when marching him to the gallows. There is no reason. It's just a random guess. I'm going to go with this one. The not struggling thing. That bothers me.
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrists. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you're right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being.
Agreed. Continue.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket. A body bag. First, how did it go? What now? Conclude. Sure. Feedback. Let's have it.
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success.
I'd imagine there'll be other people in our agencies, our departments, who will not agree with us on that front, but I'm with you. He looks for the right words earlier, by the way. I didn't read it. Continue.
We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
Yeah, probably not. Pass out long before that. What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Neato. What now, then?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages. Wait, are you actually going to leave, Kim?
For processing.
Uh-huh. He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
Continue.
I'm sure we didn't get everything.
Try to remove
There's always something.
Try to remove the dead man's boots. It's still there. Legendary perception check. Stop wasting time. You're smart. Didn't establish probable cause. Search the body one more time thoroughly. Let's bag him, take him away. Let the lieutenant take the body without any further examination. Inland Empire check. Intimate autopsy done. I get another chance to retry it. Let's do that right now.
Officials stay silent in response. You must be losing your mind, asking him that over and over.
I told you, he is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
Right, that's not what I'm asking, though. Low chance of success. But we didn't establish probable cause. That is true. We didn't. I rolled low on the Inland Empire check. Maybe I got a high roll in me for this one.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails like Kim already did. Look in his pants again. Give up. Kuno would enjoy that one for sure, but like, why? Look under his fingernails. I haven't done that.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Do you think we missed something?
Yes, there's something we're not seeing. No, let's just leave it to the processing guys. It does feel like something isn't right? It feels like something's missing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Can't he just hang out here for a while longer? Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body? That one.
It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know,
His voice trails
but
off.
only if all else fails.
His voice trails off and his gaze settles on Kuno, but only if all else fails. That seems like a terrible idea. Continue.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You want a piece of the Kuno? wanna get fucked?
Not particularly, thank you.
Only if all else fails.
He stresses. Let's hurry then.
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Okay, point taken, Kim. End. Kuno's little shit show. All right. We've examined the heck out of this body. Yes, we have. Yeah, Kuno S isn't happy with how it went down. I don't care. Okay, we gotta find a way to store the body if we're gonna examine it further. Either that or I gotta let Kim take the body with him. So, we gotta talk to Gart, we gotta talk to the Freet, and then maybe we gotta talk to Kuno afterwards, but either way, we're gonna be done for right now. So thank you for watching. I feel relatively good about how things went today. Why is your book hovering in front of you? Did you see that? The book was hovering in front of him, and as soon as I pointed it out, it hovered its way into his jacket. Kim is a sorcerer. This changes everything. Okay, well, with that revelation under our belts, yes, next time we're going to go try and find a place to store the body. I guess. I should probably just let Kim take him, but then Kim will be gone for the rest of the day also. So I need to bear that in mind as well. Okay, all right, cool. Well, thank you for watching. Next time, the thing I said, I'll see you next time.